All right, welcome back, everybody, to Cool Sports Chat, episode 26. It is, I guess, our second to final episode of the NFL season. We will be doing an episode next Tuesday, but it's going to be a little bit different as we do a tier list of the NFL jerseys since it's the Pro Bowl, and I don't think anyone's too hyped up to watch that. But tonight we're going to be talking Super Bowl 58, and the Baltimore Ravens didn't make it. So that means the logo prediction was wrong. It did not predict it because it's an all red Super Bowl. So if it did predict it, it would just be pure red because we're going to see the Kansas City Chiefs facing off with the San Francisco 49ers. Scott, how are you feeling about this Super Bowl matchup?
Well, it's going to be a heck of a matchup, really, if you think about it. Um, I kind of remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you I was going to give you a hot take. Well, that hot take was going to be the Baltimore Ravens was going to be taking it. I admit that, yes, I was wrong. But this is going to be an excellent game. Uh, kind of the nice Wild West shootout of Mahomes and Kelsey and Pacheco and his other receivers against kind of the nice calm leadership of Brock Purdy and McCaffrey just kind of controlling everything. Um, it's going to be a good comparison of two different ways of running your offense. It's going to be a good show.
Right. Bobby, how are you feeling about this Super Bowl?
I like it. I mean, I like Brock Purdy. I really do. The way he composed himself. They were down 14 points with Detroit, and all of a sudden they came right back.
Right. There's definitely some argument to be said that perhaps Detroit should be here had they made two kicks.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was just. I mean, obviously, those 6 points would have won the game, but at the end of the day, they didn't do that. The receivers were not doing a very good job at catching. There's multiple passes where Goff could have maybe thrown it to the receiver. Who knows if they would have caught it? But he just missed them outright. So
Yep.
I don't blame just Dan Campbell on that one. I know a lot of people were blaming him, but I think it was a team effort, especially when you're up by 17. It just shouldn't happen in the playoffs. You should be more composed for sure. Scott, any thoughts on that NFC Conference Championship game?
Yeah, well, I think I was kind of the same way when it came up. It's like, okay, you kick it. I mean, that's you take your 3 points and you be very happy with that. But at the same time, that's kind of the way that Detroit has kind of run their offense really through the whole season. Uh, use Spend much more time taking that fourth down try instead of just automatically giving it to the kicker. So it's kind of you've been running that all season. You don't just take away that pattern of running things here just in a near end game. So I can understand them doing it at the time. It just didn't work out. You do have a lot of plays, and it's just you just that's what you do, and it just doesn't work out sometimes. That's how it goes. So
Matt is on the show as well. Matt, the logo curse is dead. Or I guess the logo setup is dead, right? Yeah,
Of
Baltimore
course.
Ravens are not in the Super
Absolutely. It never existed.
right? I mean, if you look back at the logo design colors, I sure miss that like classic of a Miami Dolphin LA Ram Super Bowl that
Right?
that it predicted, right?
Well, I don't know.
Now,
Bronco fans were pretty convinced the orange was for Denver. I was like, Psh. It would be for Cincinnati before Denver.
Right. So, how are you feeling about this Super Bowl matchup?
It's what I predicted. It's not what my heart wanted, but it's the one I predicted. So I don't know. I think I'm happy with it. I mean, it's going to be a good matchup for sure. I think we're going to have a classic Super Bowl game here.
I mean, I'm definitely hoping this is probably the lowest of the possibilities that we had going into last weekend. Mainly because we've had this matchup pretty much point for point. Even the jersey colors are going to be the same from 4 years ago. I mean, we got the same coaches. The only difference is now there's Purdy instead of Garoppolo. But honestly, that 49ers team might have been better than what we're getting this year. So
I don't know. You added Christian McCaffrey since that last 49ers team. I think that's going to make them a little bit more potent there.
maybe. I don't know. I was hoping that this or the Ravens 49ers did not happen. Those are like my two least options, just because they are so recent in our mindset. Like I said, I don't know. I'm excited. Always excited for a Super Bowl. It'll probably be a good game, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the good news is Taylor Swift is going to be in Tokyo, so I'm excited about that.
She'll make her way down. Don't worry.
If she gets there, it'll be like fourth quarter.
Yeah, she'll take her private jet. All she has to do is just get across the just get across the Atlantic is on that side. No, the Pacific. All she has to do is get across the Pacific. She's on the west. She's on the east side of that side of the world, and of course, the Super Bowl is going to be on the west side of our half of the world. So all it is just a quick little zip across the ocean, and she'll be there. No, she's going to be there. She'll be there.
Right. We've seen wrestlers play, like who are in bands, play a few hours before, and then they show up that show. So I Taylor Swift will be there. Don't worry, Swifties. You will get a Taylor Swift sighting. Dan, good to see you. How are you feeling about this Super Bowl matchup? Are you disappointed or are you excited? Or a little of both?
I think the matchup is fine. Rematch time, you're right.
Right, even to the jersey selection. They're going to wear the same jerseys they wore last time, 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, before we get into picking let's talk about the NFC, because I know Scott talked about it. Dan, any takes about the NFC Championship game? You got a line behind you, so I had to start with you first. I know you're a Dolphin fan.
I didn't even know. No, I mean I did know about that line.
I would hope so. Someone's just decorating your
I
own
live
party.
here. Yeah. I thought at least one of the at least he took that field goal before halftime. I mean, there were 3 instances where Dan Campbell kind of was contemplating going for it on 4th down. I mean, it worked. It didn't work. He kicked it the first time. Maybe he should have kept kicking it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if he kept kicking it, the Lions would be in the Super Bowl, right?
You would think so. They would have momentum of continuing to score. That's pretty demoralizing to the 49ers. Like, yeah, they got that touchdown, but they just gave up a field goal. Who knows?
Hey, maybe this is best case scenario for the NFL, though. They don't want to be taking away Taylor Swift's time for Eminem. So
yeah, exactly. They didn't want another artist out there. They thought the 49ers, they don't have any musicians. We're good.
Yeah,
just Usher and Swift.
Yeah. We'll get to the halftime show because I'm not super pumped about that. I will say though, I think the Lions receivers did not play very good,
Josh
including
Reynolds drop.
two drops in his
Two.
hand. Amon-Ra St. Brown had one that he dropped. Jared Goff didn't play good towards the late third, early fourth as well. He had multiple passes that I think he should have connected. So I don't know. Lions are in a weird spot. Matt, any takeaways from that Lions game?
I was disappointed. I thought the Lions were on the coast, dude. That one should have been an easy win. And I think more than anything, the one that cost them the most was when they were still 24-7 up and they went for it on that fourth down. As opposed to kicking the field goal, I think, you kick the field goal, you go up 27-7. And it's a little bit more, I think, of a task for the 49ers. They got the momentum as soon as, you failed that fourth down. They came in, things were rolling then. So I think that's ultimately what cost them the game was that play right there. It gave the momentum right to San Fran.
Yeah, and so what did you feel from the bar? Like, what was the vibe at the Eagles this weekend for the 49ers Lions?
It was predominantly probably 99% Lions fans there. I don't think anyone was really pulling for the 49ers.
Well, I have a question, but we'll look at the AFC Championship game first. Chiefs won. Patrick Mahomes has now knocked out both my college quarterbacks I was rooting for. 6 straight appearances, 4 Super Bowl appearances now for him as well. I mean, what do you think there, Matt? Patrick Mahomes is going to be Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, of course. Playoff Patrick Mahomes is dangerous too. And I think with that resume now, he moves himself into a top 5 quarterback of all time. Easily. You can't really make an argument that he wouldn't be. 6 consecutive conference championships. He's now won on the road, which everyone was like, oh, he can't win on the road. He never played on the road, and then he went on the road and he won. So, 4 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls out of 4 years. This is just we're witnessing again probably that next round of greatness that everyone said we weren't going to get after Tom Brady, that he was going to be one of a kind. But here's Patrick Mahomes, has a little bit of a different swagger, doing the same thing. And all Kansas City really needs next year is a couple wide receivers.
And they're back.
They could very well be back to the Super Bowl yet again. They're that darn good, but the big question is Andy Reid. Big question mark over him. Everyone's like, oh, he's going to retire at the end of the year. I don't know about that. I really don't know. I think he's going to. You win it again, you're going to want to go, for the three-peat. You lose, you're going to be like, I came that close. I'm going to do it again with my team. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the end of the year.
Well,
if Mahomes enters the top 5, who's the top 5 now?
Well, unfortunately, Tom Brady's up there. I don't like him that much, but I respect what he's done.
Right.
Tom Brady's in there.
Tom Brady, Joe Montana,
and you got to give Jim Kelly a little bit of a nod too. The guy went to 4 consecutive Super Bowls.
Yeah, but nowhere to go.
He lost all of them. Yeah, he lost all of them.
He's got to be 6 or 7.
Right? How many?
What about our guy Otto
on that resume?
What about Otto Graham? 10 championships in a row.
Yep. Championships, though.
Was that NFL?
Yeah. He won 4 before the Browns joined the NFL. And everyone said he couldn't do it in the NFL. And you know what he did? He came in and beat the previously world championship Rams for the championship.
What makes that conversation so hard is Brady has all those rings, but from a talent point of view, Brady's probably not top 5. Maybe that might be a hot take. I just said, like, Marino has no rings, and he's always regarded as one of the best all time.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, at some point we're gonna do a tier list of quarterbacks. We got to do that sometime.
Yeah. That you got to tier it. You can't number it.
Yeah. Well, see, Dan, you got to join us next week since it's the Pro Bowl, and no one cares about the NFL Pro Bowl.
Yeah, did you real quick? Did you see Gardner Minshew got the nod instead of Josh Allen
Really?
for replacements? I mean, Josh Allen might have said no, but I'm reading reports he wasn't offered. It was offered to Gardner Minshew before it was offered to Josh Allen.
So much disrespect on our boy Josh Allen. No, I will say though, next week we are doing a jersey tier list. So we're going to be ranking the best and worst jerseys.
Arizona Cardinals worst.
Yeah, they're going to be in. I don't even know what the bin is, but they're high school jersey level right there.
And are you looking at current NFL jerseys? Or are we going to be pulling apart like the entire
everything?
No, we should just do current.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
maybe
alternatives also, or just home and away.
We'll decide. We'll see how many little slots it gives me.
Dude, you got to get my brain spinning. I need to start thinking about it now.
Well, just think about home and away for sure. There'll be pictures too, so you can look at it. But yeah, AFC Championship, Lamar. Oh, we missed it. OBJ's dad already complaining about Lamar. Get OBJ out of Baltimore.
Wow.
Like same stuff. Where is he gonna go? He's run himself out of how many teams at this point?
He's done. He's kind of washed up also. Like in that game, I mean, he started picking it up in the second half, but
yeah, after that injury,
Zay Flowers is the guy in Baltimore, and then you've got two tight ends in Likely. Well, with Likely's emergence, you can almost push out Andrews.
Yeah,
Andrews. I mean, he's cheaper. But as for my opinion of the AFC Championship, I mean, he went Lamar Jackson, magical season, but he went up against Mahomes, and maybe that's like the Achilles heel for a lot of the AFC now. And Mahomes is a young quarterback that's becoming the guy that's very difficult to beat. So you almost can't knock Josh Allen. Josh Allen can't do it. Lamar Jackson can't do it in the playoffs, at least.
There's only been two quarterbacks, right?
Who's beaten
Joe
Tom
Burrow
Brady
and Tom Brady. Yeah, Joe Burrow and Tom Brady, I think, are the only two.
And if you look at those two names, like they're great quarterbacks in their own right. So
yeah, like we said, Tom Brady probably top 5. Joe Burrow has some health issues, but when he's in there, the Bengals are rolling. Scott, any thoughts on the AFC Championship?
Well, I think especially when they were down, I think Lamar and Zay Flowers were both just pressing too hard. They were trying to get plays, trying to make plays that just were not there. And I think this way later when we get talking about the next game, one of the things with Purdy is that even when he's down, they have a nice even keel and was still playing the way that was there to play. And Lamar just wasn't doing that. Once they got down, he tried to press it, tried to make passes that just weren't there. And that the part with that Zay Flowers had right there at the goal line where he fumbles right there at the line. Again, just trying to get it done too hard. And that's what's going to end up killing you. And that's what killed the Ravens. That's how I feel about that game.
Right. Well, and Matt, you were talking about Andy Reid and all the rumors around him. But the Chiefs fans are feeling no fear because there's a certain Super Bowl winning coach that has already been rumored to be going to Kansas City if that happens.
Yeah, but the guy's old. He's ancient. I mean, if you're bringing in a coach, and that's probably why he's still out there and nobody else wanted him, is you're going to want to bring in a guy for your future. You don't want to bring in a guy who's going to change a few things up for, 2 years, maybe 3. And then now you got to bring in another guy who's going to completely change the whole system. I don't know. It's all rumor, hearsay type thing, but I think this really old coach is out, and
Do we?
I don't know if
Sorry
he'll
if
be
you're not
back.
done. Yeah.
No, you're good.
At the end of the game, Tony Romo said, "Lamar Jackson, he'll be back. I believe he will be back." I just think the AFC is so stacked that for Tony Romo to say that, I mean, he was probably. I just think that was a pretty bad take because you honestly don't know with the AFC.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, I feel like he'll be back at some point. If it's next year, I don't know because, like you said, you got the Bills.
no,
You
but
know,
look at their division. You got
no,
Deshaun Watson coming back to a good Cleveland team.
the
You got a
Bengals with
healthy
Joe
Joe
Burrow.
Burrow.
Yeah,
And then
the
even
Texans.
Pittsburgh is going to have a healthy Kenny Pickett. I don't know if they're still probably the weakest team in the division, but they're going to be at their strongest.
Hey, they might have a Russell Wilson, so you could count them out. So,
Yeah, you don't know what free agency is going to do this year.
I
You
mean,
don't
the
know
Chargers.
the Chargers are going to be good. The Texans emerged. Jacksonville will rebound. I think
Indianapolis.
you got you got yeah AR-15 in Indy. You've got a, a healthy Rodgers in the AFC. I just think the AFC is so stacked. There's going to be some good teams that you might see some good teams with like solid that look solid right now fire their coaches next year.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of that this year. We had at least 3 kind of big coaching changes. I know one of
Vrabel,
our, yeah, Vrabel, which was definitely a surprise to most of us, right, Matt?
Yes, absolutely.
Vrabel, but then I mean, I think we all kind of knew Belichick was gone, but then you had Pete Carroll
Pete Carroll
after
is a shock.
after a good season, and they still haven't. Them in Washington still have not hired anybody, so we will see. Hey, but good
So
news.
are they waiting for someone on? Maybe they're.
Well,
Eminem. Eminem said their offensive coordinator was maybe going to Washington.
Yeah, Ben Johnson was a
Ben
big
Johnson.
rumor, but he has pulled out as of today of any head coaching. He's returning to Detroit.
Okay. So I don't know. Bill Belichick to Washington, maybe.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that. The Seahawks, I think, maybe get the what's his name, McDonald from the Ravens, the defensive coordinator, or uh, what's it, Quinn?
Dan Quinn.
Yeah, I don't
I
know how I feel about that one, but I feel like that might be where we're going.
yeah.
Hey, but whoever drafts Caleb Williams, remember the analysts are telling you he is better than Patrick Mahomes. So just remember that. It's a lot of pressure to put on a quarterback. Matt, you shook your head. Do you not agree?
I don't agree. I think he's very similar to who was the quarterback a few years back, Josh Rosen. You can't go out blasting teams already before you're even drafted. Like he's already pre-warning teams. If you pass over me, I'm telling you right now, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. You can't be doing crap like that. That's no place in this business for stuff like that. Show a little respect, put your head up, and act mature. And you're about ready to be drafted. Something that 95% of football players don't get to hear their name called. You're going to have your name called. Don't act so macho and immature yet. Go out there on the field and show us. Beat us with that skill then and make us regret it. Don't say we're going to regret it because look what happened at
Josh
Rosen.
Rosen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's now a joke. He's gone. He's out of the NFL, and every team that passed on him is probably happy as a lark that they did.
Well, do you think it might be a red flag that in the Holiday Bowl, their backup quarterback played better and their offense was saying, now we feel like a team?
Yes.
So the other thing I saw, Caleb Williams sometimes looked pretty bad.
Mhm.
Like for all of the success that he had some awful interceptions sometimes, some bad overthrows. There's a lot of game tape. You could make a low light tape of him, like some, I mean, you could probably do that for everyone, like if you nitpicked all of their bad plays, but there's quite a bit of interceptions for such a star player. Last year, I mean, he
Well,
did have his Heisman year, but last year he went back and he was not that good. Was that his junior year last year?
yeah, because he was at Oklahoma before.
Yeah, he won. I think he won it as a redshirt sophomore. The
Yeah,
Heisman.
yeah. No, everyone wants the Bears to replace Justin Fields with him, and how good he was in college. He might have more yards, but his percentage, his rating, his completions are less than what Justin Fields was in college. So I don't know. To compare someone and say you're better than Trevor Lawrence, you're better than Andrew Luck, you're better than Patrick Mahomes, especially Patrick Mahomes.
I
That's
know.
a burden that I don't think even if he wins games he can get out of.
I
Scott, any takes on that?
If I remember right, Elway had very bad feelings about being the first overall pick because he was going to go to a loser, and I think Eli Manning was the same way. Hey, don't pick me. He just kind of flat out went out and said, "Don't pick me because I'm not going to play for you. You're going to have to trade me. I'm going to force you to trade me." So, this kind of I won't say kind of prima donna type attitude of some of the college quarterbacks that just kind of really need to grow up. Well, we've had a lot of experience of that past. Now, it just so happened that Elway and Manning ended up getting traded to teams, and they were able to develop a good career. Will
Win
that
Super
happen?
Bowls.
Will that happen now with Williams? Well, you always got to know. You always got to try to. We'll have to see. Who knows? But it's a risk. It's a big risk if you do it.
Right. If I was anyone, especially wearing this MVP of my fantasy football championship Justin Fields jersey, I would definitely stick with Justin Fields. Get a Marvin Harrison Jr. Maybe trade back, get a 2 or 3 plus an extra first round pick. You can get Harrison Jr. You can get some defensive line help or offensive line help. Maybe a tight end. I mean, they need a running back too. Justin Fields was their leading rusher last year, and I think that says an. We saw that in the AFC Championship game. Lamar was their leading rusher. So when your quarterback's your leading rusher, you're not going to have success. So definitely needs to go out and get a halfback. But let's look forward to this upcoming game. Who is the halftime? Is it Usher? Is that what I heard?
Yep.
Yes, correct.
All right. So who is excited? Is there anyone that is excited for this halftime?
No.
Usher's not that bad. I mean, I'll take him over some of the crap we've seen in the previous few years,
Yeah, but we could get good people, I feel like. I mean, I know the NFL is scared to get good people now, but
But wouldn't there be people clamoring for this halftime stuff? Like, why is it that people aren't knocking on the NFL's door, making an offer? Hey, you don't have to pay me this much, because it's getting your name out there, which is the big thing, If I were one of these up and coming superstars that have some reputation, I'd be like, hey, NFL, you only got to give me this much. I'll do it for half what he's doing it for, and we'll have a blowout show.
Yep.
I think if they're not big enough, the NFL doesn't want them. Like a guy like Post Malone is not big enough. Who's like a mid-tier up and coming artist that would be Super Bowl level.
But honestly, go back then to The Weeknd. The Weeknd wasn't big when they got their break, and now Blinding Lights turned out being one of the biggest hits out there.
mm-hmm.
And you had all those ridiculous masks. Was that the COVID year though? So it might have been because it was COVID year that they went with that. But I mean, we've seen Super Bowls where they've taken less known artists.
I mean, maybe Justin Timberlake way back then was was not what he. Well, he's kind of back to where, but I don't know. But I always thought it was crazy that Taylor Swift had never done it because
Right.
she's like the but now but hey, we might see her this time.
This would have been a perfect year. Her and just throw up Eminem had the Lions one. We could have a duel, like a rap battle going on right there.
Usher would have been like the forgotten piece.
Right. It's kind of like, oh, what was that Super Bowl halftime show? It was like Michael Jackson and
Yeah.
who else was it? It was like a couple different people.
Trying to remember that one.
Was the
I'm
headliner
thinking about
forgotten about?
No, but there was just a big group of them. It was like Michael Jackson and like 2 or 3 other people.
Well, that was Eminem and Dr. Dre and Missy Elliott. That was
Snoop Dogg.
I kind of like that show.
Yeah, definitely one of the better ones. All right, so now we've talked about the halftime show. Maybe we'll talk about the actual football game. Bobby, we got the AFC being represented by your favorite, the Kansas City Chiefs, going against the San Francisco 49ers. Who wins and why?
San Francisco. Brock Purdy. I want to see San Francisco win because Mike Shanahan's son is coaching, and John Lynch is the GM, and they are all Broncos. So,
Bobby, does it hurt that this could have been your front office?
I would have thought so.
Should have been.
We should have been. We passed on Shanahan, which we shouldn't have.
Did they interview Shanahan or was it
Yes.
McDaniel that they didn't?
Daniel, I think they passed over.
All these Bronco connections. Scotty, who you got? I know you've been kind of high on the 49ers this year, but are you riding with them this game?
Yeah, on this game, I'm going to ride with them. Or exactly what I've kind of been saying this whole show. It seems like they're in their offense and the defense is all running in control, no matter what their score is. If they're way up or even if they're way down, they're running their plays, they're running their offense the way they do it. And I think that's going to be the way throughout this game. Even if Kansas City should jump out to a lead, I think San Francisco will not fold up and go away. And I think that in that end, that's going to end up being the savior for the 49ers for this game. I'm going with 49ers.
All right. What about you, Mick?
No, I'm going to show you who's winning this year's Super Bowl. Dude, I called it from the very beginning of the year, man. They're going, dude. Oh, wait, this is the wrong. How darn it?
They got to be there first. They got to be in the game first.
No, and this one, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. Just for all the Colorado ties that it does have. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Christian McCaffrey, who, working at the King Supers I worked at, I've known Christian since he was probably, 6 years old, possibly 5. There's so many McCaffrey boys. I forget which one was the youngest, middle, oldest. But just talking to the family as they came in at nighttime and just good people. I got to pull for the McCaffreys. So let's go with the San Francisco 49ers for that reason.
Right. Yeah. No, I remember playing football with the McCaffreys. And Ed was the coach of the camps. And him and my dad would talk a ton. So, yeah, he was always really nice to when he came into King Supers, just kind of down to earth. I always treated him, I guess, how you would treat someone like we had, or some other of our football coaches were up there. And, yeah, really good guys. And Dan's not back, so I guess
I'm back.
Oh, he's back. He's back. All right, so I don't have to pick yet. Dan, who are you picking for this Super Bowl?
I think the Chiefs are going to win. And it's not that I want them to win. I just think they're going to.
Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, Matt, do you got the helmet with my initials on it? That's not my. Put the Patriots down. They're not in the Super Bowl.
No, unfortunately, the helmets are on display
they're
at the
either
club.
Yeah. Well, I will go for the. Well, I'm picking. I'm not. I don't know if I'm going. I'm picking the team with my initials on their helmet. I think their defense is playing better than we've ever seen the Chiefs defense playing. Obviously, they got what we expect. Kind of going into it, we thought they would change when they got into the playoffs. So they got that going for them. I don't know. Momentum's on their side. 49ers are riding high, but like I said, I think the 49ers team they beat originally was better. And that 49ers team was up by 2 touchdowns. So I think if they can do that, they will do that again this time. So give me Kansas City. And we got a message from Brendan. So he says Chiefs will win. So guys, we are tied 3-3, which means we need you guys to put it in the comments below who you think's going to win. I do know last night though Grayson said he thinks the Chiefs will win. So
100% hearsay.
hey, when we make our little Super Bowl short, it'll be in there.
Oh, it better be.
I had to make the short for his Spider-Man that never happened last night. So. All right, so here we go. We'll go back around. Bobby, who's going to be the MVP?
Brock Purdy will be the MVP.
Scott?
My dog disagrees.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to agree with Bob. I think Purdy's going to be the MVP. That's who it'll be.
All right, Matt.
I'm going to go with Christian McCaffrey. I think he's going to have some big rushing touchdowns right in the end zone, and he's going to put the team on his back, and they're going to win it. I think he gets like 3 rushing touchdowns at least.
Yeah. Let's see. Who do I pick as MVP? I don't know. Give me Mahomes, I suppose. It's either if the Chiefs win, it'll probably be Mahomes or Kelsey. Maybe Kelsey, so they can do some spot.
Are you sure Swift won't win the MVP?
Taylor Swift for MVP.
Taylor
Literally, the
Swift-
NFL thinks so.
Yeah, Taylor Swift's brought in a lot of people. So Dan, is Taylor Swift your MVP prediction?
Mahomes.
All right, so Mahomes. Well, there's our Super Bowl picks. It's kind of weird. We'll be back in a few weeks to talk about who actually won the Super Bowl and if we got anything correct at all. Maybe we got everything wrong.
I got the Chiefs right last year over the Eagles.
See,
I
Dan,
think we all did, but Brendan. I think everybody was pulling for Kansas City. Nobody can stand the Eagles.
But now nobody can stand Kansas City.
Yep, Kansas City has become that team now. Kansas City is the new Patriots.
Hey, but you know what? Who are the Bronco fans rooting for this game? Because whoever they're rooting for is going to lose. That is the curse of the Bronco fan.
Right? The Raiders. Everyone's going for the Raiders. I mean, it's at their own stadium. Why not win the Super Bowl,
Bobby, did you get your hat from Tony?
No.
No?
Tony probably kept it.
I'm sure
he
that was
probably did.
Hat.
That's messed up.
Man, who was it? That viewer sent you a Raiders hat to your store.
Probably Tony. Probably.
You think Tony kept the hat?
He probably did. He went to Vegas. He went to Vegas for a couple of days.
You go tell Tony that a YouTube viewer sent you that hat and that you need to get it back. But yeah, that's our thing. Like I said, next week we will be talking the jersey tier because no one likes the Pro Bowl. So join us for that. But we're not done because the Royal Rumble happened this past weekend. Kind of anticlimactic, I'm sure, for a lot of people. Definitely some changes because of certain things that came out about a certain owner of the WWE that we can't talk about on here, but that's why one Mr. Brock Lesnar was also not on the Rumble show.
Yeah.
So some bad things there. Matt, any thoughts about the Royal Rumble?
It's been better. I mean, it was pretty good, but I've seen better. I had a chance to watch. I had to work the bar, so I was not able to fully watch it live at the time it was going on. But a couple, mishaps that drove me crazy was I think it was in the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre went to Claymore, one of the guys, and you can watch the guy. He misses his cue, and then he jumps over the rope himself and eliminates himself. It was such bad acting. Um, Forgetting the guy's name. He's the big guy.
Omas or
Not Omas. He's the big guy. Looks like a tree trunk. Not Braun Breaker, but the other one.
commentator or
No.
Well,
But
Braun Breaker got Brock Lesnar's spot.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that, but no, I mean, it ruins the effect when you catch it. But the camera put it right out there for everyone. They didn't cut real quick to another view or something, but whatever.
Yeah, no,
the women's Royal Rumble though, fantastic. I thought the ladies did a great job. Another brilliant performance by them. Way to go, girls! You guys are rocking the wrestling world right now.
Yep.
Right, Jade Cargill looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are giving her slack, but we have a whole video library from AEW.
Yep.
So I'm not sure why people were like, she's bad. She looked really good. They let her eliminate Jax by herself, which has not happened to her in the Rumble before. So that was big. We saw Liv Morgan returned from injury.
Andrade came back.
Yeah, but no one cares about that. Maybe that's a hot take, but he didn't do anything in WWE. He didn't do anything in AEW.
No.
You know what he's going to do in WWE again? Nothing. Yeah, Matt said
Hogan
no.
was there, but he was up top. You see him? I guess Hogan was up on in the booth in the suites.
Yeah, considering Hogan's past, there's no way they're bringing him in any form. Considering everything that dropped. Trying to think in the men's if anything happened of note. Like we said, Braun Breaker kind of got the spots that Brock Lesnar was supposed to get, which will that set up the match at Elimination Chamber between him and Dominic Mysterio like it was supposed to be with Brock? We'll find out, I suppose. I think as well, Pat McAfee kind of was that extra person to take like the spot that was vacated.
Yeah, I just think this one was more predictable, especially with the final two than years prior. There's always a dark horse sometimes that comes out of nowhere, and just it didn't happen this year. There was no magical moments. There was nothing that stood out about the men's Royal Rumble, at least. We all knew Roman wasn't losing his title, which is still BS. I mean, I'm so sick and tired of him being the champ. It needs to be moved on now. We've drug it on long enough.
Just imagine the people that had to put up with Bruno Sammartino for like 8 straight years or whatever that crazy number was.
But didn't he wrestle more often? Like, I feel Roman gets so much downtime. You have to do. I thought WWE somewhere said you have to defend your title every 30 days. He's gone times where I'm sure he's been over 120 days where he hasn't defended it. So it's.
Well, I think it's now, especially because TKO owns them. I think it's more like UFC, where the heavyweight champion might fight 2 or 3 times a year. It's kind of what it reminds me of.
Well, then I'm done watching. I like to see titles change hand.
Hey, that's why they introduced the backup title. Since Roman has 2 titles, so there's 3 heavyweight titles still.
And if Brock will ever be back, I wonder, because that woman named him.
Bob, we can't talk about it
Yeah, I know.
on here. We'll get demonetized.
Okay.
No, I will say Brock Lesnar. Well, he wasn't named,
Yeah.
but from everything they said, as far as a UFC heavyweight champion, I doubt we'll ever see Brock again.
No.
Definitely not seeing Vince McMahon again.
No.
Laurinaitis is gone for sure. We'll see Bruce Pritchard probably gone.
Steph will probably be back.
Cannonball, or save money the easy way.
We'll find out. It seems like maybe Steph and Shane might be back.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of fallout between them and Vince might have been what was going on.
Connected to America's
I don't know either, though. I mean, the TKO might want to just be done with the McMahons and anything to do with the company, too. But we'll see. I mean, both Shane and Steph are so respected in the wrestling world, so who knows? But I don't know if I see a McMahon coming back.
No.
Well, and it sounds like, at least backstage, a lot of talk was Shane had all those falling outs because he was trying to stop Vince from doing all the crappy stuff he was doing.
Yep, correct.
So it seems like Shane probably, I mean, this is all circumstantial. We're not actually sure. We're not backstage ourselves. So. But yeah, Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble 2 times in a row. He beats CM Punk. I don't know how excited anyone was. It was nice to see 2 AEW stars getting their limelight at the end, though, right? No, I know. You guys are going to say they were in WWE first or ROH or whatever. But, yeah, it's good to see Cody Rhodes on top. I don't know if he'll win this one. Honestly, I don't know if he'll win. But, hey, he gave a salute to the Bucks and Omega at the end.
That's it. It's Bronson Reed. If you go back and watch how he was eliminated during the Royal Rumble, you'll just laugh. It was such a huge miss on the camera's part that it's laughable.
I'll check it out. The Royal Rumbles, there's always like things you can miss because there's so much going on in the ring at once. So I always miss it here or there. Some other news. I don't know if it's official. It looks like Randy Orton probably got hurt. And official CM Punk got hurt again. Third injury in 2 years? Third major injury in 2 years. I mean, just not a good couple of years for Punk, who comes back, wins the title, breaks his foot the night after he wins the title.
Yep.
Comes back, wins the title, gets the other tricep torn, gets in a fight, gets suspended, comes back, wins the title, gets suspended and fired. Now he's back and he got a tricep tear, so
you won't see him for a while.
At some point you got to say maybe
enough is enough.
Maybe your body is not holding up, you know. He's had so many big injuries. I don't know.
Enough is enough.
Matt, any takes on CM Punk there?
I've been down with him for a while. He just needs to go. He can be a spokesperson or something. Come entertain the crowd. Drop your mic bomb. Whatever. Get your little ice cream bar and turn that son of a gun sideways and stick it straight up his candy booty. So I tried to keep it as PG as I could on that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't wish injury upon anybody. Used to be a big CM Punk fan, but with everything that's gone on, definitely fallen down the ranks, especially when we got Seth Rollins. Unfortunately, he's also hurt, though.
Well, and then everyone's like, well, and then they send out Drew McIntyre and he attacks him. It's no different than Cody Rhodes going out and fighting with his torn pectoral muscle. Remember just how red it was for that
Seth
Seth Rollins? you're still able to use it. You're just not. You're not going to hurt it any more than it already is hurt. So I mean, it was fine. I think it adds to, as soon as they can get this match, and it might be more SummerSlam now or whenever. But I think Drew McIntyre and CM Punk is going to headline one of these pay-per-views coming up in 5 months.
Well, Drew McIntyre's contract is up here, I think, the night after WrestleMania.
Well, maybe he gets a match with Punk. I don't know. You got Aaron Rodgers who tore his ACL and he was back before the end of the year. He probably could have started. So today's modern science with healing, who knows?
Yep.
Well, I will say WWE's been wanting to have a Rock Roman headlining match, so now they kind of got that open. They just got to get Cody to go after the secondary title, and then
they definitely tried that on Monday Night Raw. I mean, Rollins came out and practically begged Cody to pick his title as the one he's going to go after. But here's the thing where I still don't think it's going to happen is we have still yet to see Rock and Roman in the same ring, yet alone any promos together, anything like that. It's still the biggest hush-hush. Remember when they brought Rock back to be with Cena, they did that a year in advance to build the hype for the match. I mean, I know it's on the back of our minds, but it's been on the back of our minds for 6 years now, that Rock and Roman is going to happen at some point. And
Right.
I'm losing all my faith in it happening, and maybe that's what they want, and then boom, it's going to be there.
Hey, maybe if they want a real just like big draw, they can bring in Russell Wilson to fight CM Punk.
There we go. Well, I'm pretty sure we're going to have an Usos WrestleMania with either Rikishi maybe being a special guest referee or Solo. I think that'd be a pretty darn good WrestleMania match there.
Yep.
I mean, we'll see. They kind of let us down on the Hardys WrestleMania match, which should have been good. Scott, what are you guys going to be doing for the Super Bowl? We might be having some technical difficulties.
Yep.
Isn't Andrade married to Charlotte Flair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's not a little reasoning why he came back as well now, because they got married when he was off in the AEW.
Yeah, when Charlotte Flair was rumored to be leaving WWE. Scott, what are your plans for the Super Bowl?
Oh, kind of get out of the snacks and treats that I prefer. I'm not into really getting around with a bunch of other people, just because then I'd have to share my particular treats, snacks. I want them all for myself, and so I'll get what I want to have, along with my preferred beverages of choice, and sit on my nice recliner. This one that happens to be here holding my rear end up right this moment, and just watch it happen, and see how it goes, and probably complain about all the bad calls or the calls that I would have made. All the great, you got to kick the field goal, idiot, and then not worry about that. So that's going to be my plan. That's where I will be. And come the halftime show, it'll be just for me to be able to get up and resupply all of the drinks and treats and stuff like that to be be sitting here on my lap as the second half goes on. Could really care less about who is playing. It's just a filler for me to get a refill on my treats and drinks. That's all it is.
Bobby, what about you?
I don't know yet. I might go to the new Pines Bar and Grill to watch it.
Okay. Well, Matt, we got a new episode dropping Friday. Do you want to tell the guests what they can be expecting this Friday?
Yes, as promised, we are starting our journey to find the best burger in Colorado. And we brought ourselves to the Hideaway in Castle Rock, Colorado, for our very first stop. And yeah, we got some reviews that might surprise you, maybe not. I mean, you've been to the Hideaway. I'm sure some of our viewers have. Um, yeah, so we're going to give you our feedback and scores and where did Hideaway fall currently on the list?
Well, so far, probably number one because it's the first stop.
Right?
But
Exactly.
the question
Number
is,
uno.
which burger is at number one, right?
Right. So many choices, and that's going to be, I think, the hardest thing about this is so many choices. Like, what type of burger are you going to want? What fills your desire? But yeah, I mean, we're gonna break down each burger for you, what we thought of it, the texture of the burger, how it was cooked, the flavor profile, the toppings on the burger. I mean, we're going all out for you guys to give you an honest opinion here on the burger. None of us are sponsored by these bars and grills. We go there, we order the burgers, we try them, and we give our honest feedback. We're not getting any promos from it. We're not getting any kickback. So yeah, I mean, we're being brutally honest with everyone, and we're going to give you our honest feedback.
What's the next
Yeah.
stop, Friday?
I will say, stay tuned for episode 2 because we definitely got brutally honest in episode 2.
Yes, and we went to a location people don't think of to go look for a top tier burger. But yeah, you'll find out pretty soon what location number 2 was.
Yeah, and I will say this weekend in a 4-day span, not including our show on Tuesday, we are filming 5 episodes. So stay tuned. We got 5 episodes coming to you. They're going to be fun. All different series, one interview. Last night we actually got done filming another deep dive. And if you want to kind of see a sneak peek, stay tuned. The YouTube short will be dropping on tomorrow, roughly about 10 a.m. So if you want to keep an eye out, 10 a.m.
Okay.
And you guys will be able to see a YouTube short. Matt, we do have some other news. Hanging with Culz. What is this, number 5? Will be happening in June.
Oh yeah.
And where is it going to be happening?
If we got our dates right, it's going to be happening in the great city of New Mexico. In a wonderful city that we've come to adore, Roswell. They've got an amazing baseball team out there, the Roswell Invaders, and a really good group of people that we've met out there that we continue to see every year now. We go back to say hi to them, and they talk to us. They remember us. They know who we are. I really enjoyed the little town of Roswell, and I'm very much looking forward to getting back out there in June.
Right, and I will try to confirm when I do talk with our friend John LeMay here probably this weekend, if that's a little bit of a tease, as maybe some of the episodes we'll be filming. Yeah, some great people. John being one of the people we met and just become a great friend. We've been able to go out there, hang out with him, get some good food recommendations. The food's always good. Baseball team, we just have so much fun at the Roswell Invaders. So, hey, we'll keep hyping it up. If you guys are going to be in Roswell, those for the UFO Festival / Comic-Con, let us know and come hang out with us. But yeah, until next time, guys, for more sports chat, link to the left. For more Culz Paranormal, click that link to your right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to tell us who's winning the Super Bowl, Chiefs or 49ers. Bob says Chiefs.